All right, man, so let's talk about this whole Pittsburgh Steelers offense situation. For the last 2 weeks, the Pittsburgh Steelers offense has basically been anemic, and it just doesn't look good. And it was like that last year with Big Ben and also during the Randy Fichtner era. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think it's time for them to make a huge coaching change. And no, I'm not talking Mike Tomlin. What's up, YouTube? It's All Pro Sports Talk, the home of sports talk. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Also, hit the like button. I know a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans don't want to hear this because it's only 2 games in. But Matt Canada needs to be let go, and it's time for the Pittsburgh Steelers to move on and part ways with Matt Canada. Now, the main thing is who will be the offensive coordinator moving forward when they decide to do that, and if they do decide to do that. Now, obviously, they're not going to do that anytime soon. I don't see it, but I do think that it's best to do it sooner than later. Matt Canada is just not a good offensive coordinator in the NFL, and it's proven that throughout his whole entire career. He was a journeyman offensive coordinator throughout college. He's been an offensive coordinator for a whole bunch of teams in college, man. You can go back to when he was assistant in Indiana in 94, 96. Then he was the running backs coach in Northern Illinois. He got his first offensive coordinator gig in Indiana in 2007. Then they let him go. Then he became offensive coordinator for Northern Illinois, Wisconsin in 2012, NC State 2013 to 2015. Then he became the Pittsburgh offensive coordinator in college, not in the NFL. In 2016, they decided to let him go. Went to LSU in 2017. Looked really good there. They ended up letting him go. He ends up going to Maryland, becomes the offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach. Then goes to Maryland for both years. 2018, then became the interim coach in 2018. He did such a great job. He ends up becoming the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterbacks coach in 2020. Replaces Randy Fichtner, and he became the offensive coordinator last year. Problem is with this offense is a lot of people say, well, it's the offensive line. The offensive line is bad. Okay, the offensive line is bad, but I've seen a horrible offensive line with a young Big Ben, and Big Ben won a Super Bowl with a bad offensive line, so don't get that mistaken. And Big Ben also came in his rookie season getting beat up a lot, and they won a significant amount of games with a bad offensive line, so I don't want to hear that. A lot of people said last year the offense was bad because of Big Ben. He held them back. They didn't have an athletic quarterback, but the offensive line did play a play. Okay, so they go and they get Mr. Trubisky. Very athletic quarterback, has a very big arm, is spotty at moments, has very questionable decisions. I look at Mr. Trubisky through the first 2 weeks. He doesn't look bad. He is not trying to turn the football over. The offensive line is not holding up for him. But at the same time, it's the same short intermediate plays from last season that Matt Canada run. And the reason that I know it's the same plays, for the simple fact they ran a similar play in week 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals that they ran against the Kansas City Chiefs when they got blown out in the playoffs. It was the same exact curl concept play with Najee Harris in the backfield blocking, and the primary read was Chase Claypool. Same exact play. Now, it's not a bad thing to run the same exact play if it works. Instead, it doesn't work. You're running curl routes when it's 3rd and 10, and it's in the 3rd quarter. Then you go against the New England Patriots, and you do look good in the second half. Don't get me wrong, you look better. But your offense still was stagnant. The main thing is there's no creativity, there's no flowness to the game. When Chase Claypool is only running 6 deep routes in one game, that's a problem. He only ran deep 3 times. And those are scripted plays within the routes he's supposed to take against the Cincinnati Bengals. You're not making the best out of your playmakers. Deontay Johnson is one of the best route runners in the entire NFL, and he's really good in open space, but it looks like it's hell for him to get the big plays that he does get. Then he gets phased out. Chase Claypool should be making more plays down the field, and Pat Freiermuth should as well, instead of doing these short slant route plays. And don't get it mistaken, the offensive line is bad, but there was points in time the offensive line did hold up against the New England Patriots, and it was still a short concept game. Now, he does have some good points in his offense. The mesh plays look really good, but a mesh concept is only one concept in one formation. Other than that, I don't see any jailbreak screens. I don't see any tunnel screens. I don't see any screen blocks for the wide receivers. The only thing I see is a jet sweep to Chase Claypool every now and then. When Chase Claypool does get the ball, it's always a jet sweep. It's never having Chase Claypool in the backfield. It's never having multiple sets in the backfield. It's never having multiple running backs in the game. It's always having one running back in the game, and that's Najee Harris. You can make the most out of a short kind of offense. When I watch coaches like Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan, how they use their players, it's very different from how the Pittsburgh Steelers use their players. Chase Claypool is a big physical wide receiver, 6'4", 6'5", right? When I watch DK Metcalf be used in that Seattle Seahawks system, they use him to the best of his ability. The Pittsburgh Steelers are using Chase Claypool as this little They act like he's 5'10" or 6 foot. I get it. Having him in the backfield is not a bad thing on jet sweeps, but can we get creative? Can we just run a regular formation like how the San Francisco 49ers use Deebo Samuel? Use your wide receivers. Use Deontay Johnson like how Odell Beckham was used a couple years ago. Even though he is not Odell Beckham, you can use him in similar fashion because he is so great in open field. You can do some dump off routes and have the offensive linemen go in there and have the wide receivers come and block as well. Some of the Green Bay Packers have done before. The Green Bay Packers did that against Chicago Bears 2 years ago when Matt LaFleur was there. When he was first implementing this new system in, it's a screen play off to the slot side. The wide receiver waits a while, let the wide receiver and the 2 linemen get in front, and then he gets behind those guys and gets some blocking up front. Those are chunk yards. And those yards right there, it compensates when your run game is lacking. And the Pittsburgh Steelers run game is lacking right now because the offensive line cannot get a push. But you can do vertical things with offensive linemen. Because the funny thing is with the Pittsburgh Steelers, their offensive linemen aren't good in pass protection, but they're extremely athletic. So they can get out in space and they can knock some guys over. Big Chucks can move for a tackle. So that's my major thing that I'm looking at with this offense. It has no creativity. It has no flow. It's the same slants. It's the same play action plays. It's the same deep mesh concepts. It's nothing new. The run game is going to forever suck with Matt Canada because he has the same system. He doesn't evolve. It's the same system that he ran in LSU, and it just doesn't work. It's just no creativity to it. There's no flowness to it. There's no newness to it. When I watch other offensive coordinators around the NFL, things look better. I was for sure on the hype train for the Pittsburgh Steelers hiring Pep Hamilton. He was a quarterback's coach for the Los Angeles Chargers. He has gotten guys right such as Andrew Luck, Justin Herbert, Peyton Manning, and even Davis Mills. He's getting all these quarterbacks right. And I'm just looking and saying, hey, Pittsburgh, now is the time to hire a guy like Pep Hamilton, who has a great passing complex type of system. He's a great passing game coordinator. He's amazing at it. But it sucks because the Pittsburgh Steelers usually hire guys in-house. I think it's time for them to go beyond their mesh point and go beyond the surface of just hiring people in-house. I know Mike Tomlin doesn't want to do that, and I think Mike Tomlin is a really good, amazing head coach. But his offensive coordinator hiring and his hiring practices are very questionable when it comes to the offensive coordinator beneath him. Because the last time they had a competent offensive coordinator was Todd Haley, and he rubbed Big Ben the wrong way, and they got him out of there. Then Big Ben got to call his own shot. So it's time to get some guys in here that Mike Tomlin can thrive with and can mesh with, because the defense is doing everything they can. And the defense isn't going to be this elite for that long. This is not how the NFL works. Eventually, you're going to start drafting guys on offense to help the offense, and the defense will take a dip. So you want to exercise this defensive window. It is time for them to move on to Matt Canada and get a better option at the offensive coordinator position sooner than later. So let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about Matt Canada below? And obviously, I do get it. The offensive line is bad. You can say what you want to say about Mr. Trubisky, but he's out there trying. A quarterback can only do so much as offensive line is bad. Look at Joe Burrow for key example. Look at Andrew Luck for key example. The offensive lines are horrible. They still look good, but they still went up to their full efficiency. So I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Do you agree with this? Do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers should move on from Matt Canada? Do you think that the Pittsburgh Steelers need to make a major change on offense? Do you think they'll just stay the course? New to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, when each and every last one, you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.